Have you ever wished that you could record your voice over your PowerPoint slides so that when someone else opens your PowerPoint, it's like if you're physically there guiding them through your slide deck? Well, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Jason Matthew from WeCanEduTech, and today we're going to be looking at how we can record audio and video in PowerPoint. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, let me show you what operating system I'm using and what version of PowerPoint I have installed on my machine. So I'm using a Mac computer and it's running on Mac OS Catalina version 10.15.7. And the version of PowerPoint that I have installed on my computer is Microsoft PowerPoint for Mac version 16.49. Microsoft 365. So if you're using a different operating system than what I have, as well as if you have a different version of PowerPoint, then some of the things that I'm showing you on my screen might look a little different from yours. So you'll have to adapt accordingly. But most of it should be the same. So in the comment section, if you see anything different, well, you could put it there and I can guide you through the comment section of the video. So let's get into it now. So I have a simple PowerPoint presentation. It's made up of only 3 slides. So there's a title slide. And then I have 2 other slides where I just put 2 screenshots there. So I'm going to go to the title slide again. And the first thing we're going to be doing is adding a voiceover to the PowerPoint presentation. If you are adding just audio only, how you do it is that you go, well, first of all, make sure you select the slide to which you want to add the audio to. So I'm going to start adding audio to my title slide. So I have my title slide selected. And then I go to the top menu here and I click on Insert. And then I go to the far right of the ribbon and I click on Audio. Now when I click on Audio, there are 3 options. And one of them, Audio from File, means that if you already have an audio clip that you have prepared, either you prepared from another piece of software or you have downloaded a piece of audio, let's say it's a music clip or something that you want to add, then you can add that audio straight from your computer using audio from file. But today we are going to be recording audio from our voice. So I'm going to choose record audio, which is the 3rd option. Now, once I click on the 3rd option, which is to record audio, on the far right hand side now I have a panel here saying record audio and it says click to start recording. Now once I click on this red circle here, it's going to start recording my voice. Now before we proceed, the other thing I should tell you all is that in order for the computer to record your voice, there must have a microphone attached to the computer. Either it could be the internal mic that comes with, that most new computers now come with an internal mic, or you can have an external mic connected to the computer. But you must have some kind of audio recording device connected to the computer to record your voice. Now, once you have that set up, then you click to start recording. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jason Matthew, and today I'm going to show you how to record audio or video in PowerPoint. Now, once you are finished with the recording and you're happy with the recording, you can just click on the stop button, which is now a red square. So you click on that. Now, you're going to have a few options now. You can click on the play button to replay what you have just recorded. And if you are happy with it, then you click insert. Or if you are not happy with it and you want to redo the recording, then you can click on discard. And when you click on discard, it's going to erase what you have just recorded, and then you can now repeat the process and do a new recording. For the intents of this demo, I'm just going to click on insert. I'm happy with what I've recorded so far. And once I click insert, you see that there's this audio icon that came up, and that's my recording. Now you can move this anywhere on the slide. I'm going to put it in the lower corner of the slide here. Now, if you can see, I can click the play button and that will everyone, my name is Jason Matthew. And that will play the recording. All right. Now, once you have done a recording, and you have to do it for each slide that you want to have an audio recording for, you'll have to do this process. Now, once you do that, you see now at the top menu, you have two new options that you didn't have before. You have audio format and you have playback. Now, if you're not seeing these two options and you have already made a recording, just go back and make sure that your audio icon is selected to get those two options. Now I'm going to start with audio format. Now with audio format, there's a few things that you could experiment with. For instance, if you click on corrections, there are different versions of how the audio icon will present itself. You can look at that. You could also give it a background. So like if I click here, you can see now it has a black background. So you can do that as well. So there are a few things you can do and you could experiment with in the format section. Now remember, I'm using a Mac, an Apple computer, and so we have different options from a Windows user, for instance. So a Windows user might see here that they actually have an additional option where they can change the image of the icon. We don't have it as Mac users, but Windows users do. You get more options when you click on playback. Now, playback has some very important options that we want to look at. So for instance, one of the most important ones is that it allows you to trim the audio. So when I click on trim audio, you'll see that the audio clip comes up here. Now we can look at the waveform here, and this flat line in the waveform tells me that nothing was being said there. So that's like dead air. So what I can do is I can move the beginning and I can drag it across like that to where the waveform starts. And what I can do now is I can move the play. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. Finish with the recording. So you see, all of that was just additional stuff I was speaking I didn't want. So let's see. I'm going to show you how to record audio video in PowerPoint. No, it's there. So I want the audio clip to end here. So what I do is I take the end, the yellow bar, and I drag it towards there. So now it means that only this is what I want. This is the desired audio I want for this slide. Now, once I've selected and I'm happy with this pattern, as I said, you could always move the blue line, which is the playhead, and play it over to see if that's exactly what you want. Then you click on trim. And when I click on trim, only that selected piece is going to remain. And it's going to remove the parts that are outside of these yellow borders. So I click on trim. And now, if I go and I play it now. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jason Matthew. And today I'm going to show you how to record audio video in PowerPoint. Perfect. So that's exactly what I wanted for this slide. Now, once you are happy with this slide now, then you can go to the other slide. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do an audio recording for each slide. As the teacher or as the presenter, you would know which slides you want to add something extra to. So just for the intents of this purpose, I'm going to just assume for this demo that slide 2 didn't need any additional stuff. Everything was already there. And I go to slide 3, for instance. If I want to add a recording to slide 3, I do the same thing that I did for the title slide. So I click on start and then I do a recording. So if you want to insert video, you go to insert and then you click on slideshow. So that's just for the demo purposes. And then I click stop. Now, if I want, I can discard it if I want to do it over again. So I'll just discard it just to show you how it looks. If I just click discard, all that happens is that it discards what I just recorded and it gives you the option to start recording again. So if I click start recording, I'm now recording a fresh recording for this slide. And I can click stop. And if I'm happy, I can play it over by clicking on the play button. And if I'm happy, I click on insert. And again, you can move the audio anywhere on the slide that you like. I should also say that if you watch, once I'm finished with this recording, the record button is there again. It means that you can do multiple audio recordings for one slide. So like let's say there's some kind of diagram you have and the different parts that you want to have different recordings, you can put them at different parts of the slide. So that's just another option. Now, the other thing I want to point out to you is that the recording, that audio that you have recorded for that slide, is literally attached to that slide. So it means that I can now take slide 3, for instance, and if I move it up to the second position, so now slide 3 is now technically slide 2, the audio recording also moves because the recording is attached to that specific slide. So it will move with the slide. Similarly, if I was to delete a slide, then it will also delete the recording that was made for that slide. Also, if let's say you want to add more slides, you can add slides anywhere in this presentation. You could add at the end, you could add in the middle, and you can add recordings to these new slides. So it is a very dynamic process. The other cool thing is that if, let's say, you want to use this presentation in the future, and this time you like, oh, I want to make some changes to it. I want to put a new recording for that slide. That's also very possible. So let's go to a slide that has a recording. So I'm going to slide 2, and there's where the audio is. Now let's say that I have made some changes to the slide now, and I want to have a new recording. All you do is that you, with your mouse, you click on the audio icon, and then you just click on delete on your keyboard, and it removes the audio for that slide. And then you can click to start recording, and you can do a new recording, and that will be your updated PowerPoint presentation. And you can just insert it and again move it to anywhere on this slide that you want the recording icon to be. So now I want to show you some other playback options. So again, make sure that your audio is selected, and at the top menu here, make sure that playback is selected. Now we looked at how to trim the audio. Let's look at some other things that might be important. So for instance, let's say that there's something really, really important that you want your audience to focus on during the audio clip. So like you can play the clip, and you can do, and wherever in the audio clip you reach that important part, you could add what is called a bookmark. So you go to the menu again, the playback area, and you click on add bookmark. And as you can see, there's now this yellow circle, meaning that the user is going to see that yellow circle there, and they know that that's somewhere important, that they should really go to there and listen to that part that you're speaking about. So that's one great way you could bookmark part of your audio. All right, so we have looked at how to trim the audio. That's very important. Now you can fade in and fade out. So like for instance, this might come in very handy if, let's say, you have a musical intro, and while the musical intro, the last 3 seconds of it, you want it to fade out so it gets softer while the other slide starts. You can say, well, you can specify the first 3 seconds or so that you want the audio to fade out. The last 3 seconds for the audio to fade out. Volume, so you can decide if it's too loud, you can bring it down to low, medium, high, or you can even mute the volume. And for this start, you see that there are 3 options: in click sequence, automatically, and when clicked on. And this is what's going to happen when the user, the audience, somebody in the audience here now, it has this PowerPoint in front of them. They open it up. It's in full screen. And what happens when they land on this page? What's going to happen to the audio clip? Now, in this default here, it's in click sequence. So it means that when they land on this page, when they click on the page again, it's going to play the audio. Now, if you choose the option of automatically, it means that once they land on the page, the audio will play automatically. And then the final option, which is when clicked on, it means that when you land on the page, the user will actually have to go now and click on the audio icon at the bottom here, like how I've done, and then click play to hear the audio. So those are the 3 options that you can give your users in order to hear the audio. So now we're going to be looking at 2 different ways in which we can save this presentation for our users. So you go to File at the top. So you click on File, And then we're going to click Save As. So you should have the name of the regular PowerPoint, that's the original PowerPoint you did before you did the voiceover. So what I do is I'm just going to include with voiceover at the end of the title there. And then I'm going to click Save. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to minimize this PowerPoint. And then I'm going to open my folder. And so this one at the bottom here is the original one. So that's the one without the voiceover. And now this one is the one with the voiceover saved. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that the original file without any audio was 1.5 megabytes. And the file with the audio clip is 1.6. So this is a very conservative increase in size. So this is really good. And it's always to keep in mind that if you just add in audio only, it's not going to increase the size of the file significantly. You will see later in the video when we add video, it's a whole different story. This file size is going to increase a lot. So I'm going to open the PowerPoint presentation with the voiceover now. So this is what, if you save your file and you give your users this file with the voiceover, this is what they're going to see when they open the PowerPoint presentation. Now, if they don't go into slide view and they're just looking at the slides like this, like when they click on a slide, for instance, they're going to see the audio icon, and then they can play by clicking the play button here. Okay, hello everyone, my name is Jason Matthew, and today I'm going to show you how to record audio or video. So that's how they'll be able to play the audio if they have it like this. Now, let's see what happens if they go into slide view now. So I'm going to click on slideshow. So this is what comes up. And as soon as I click to go to the other slide. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jason Matthew. And today, so you see when I was on the first slide and as I click to go on the other slide, the audio played. Just like now I'm on this slide, and if I click again to go to the other slide, the audio should automatically play. And you can do a new recording. So this is how the user will be able to navigate if he goes into slideshow. So that was one way in which we can save the PowerPoint with the voiceover. We just saved it as a PowerPoint and we send that to the users. The other way in which you can save it is actually by doing an export. So I go to File, and this time I'm going to click on Export. Now there are different file formats in which you can export this file as, one of them being PDF, but we want to actually import it as an MP4. An MP4 file is a movie file, and this will be handy, like for instance, if you wanted to upload this to YouTube and share it with your users. So I'm going to save it as an MP4, so that's a video file, as I said. You could change the width and height. 1920 by 1080 is universal standardized high definition dimension, so that's a pretty good place to start. And this time, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say with voiceover, and I'm going to put in brackets video, close brackets, and then I'm going to click export. And once I click export, it's going to process this PowerPoint presentation as a video. It's going to take a little while, and then depending on the size of your PowerPoint and how much graphics and stuff you have in there, it's going to take longer. But this one is a simple PowerPoint, so this shouldn't last long at all. All right, so I click on export, and if you look at the bottom here, you should be seeing the progress of it being exported. So once this goes to the end here, it means that it has been converted to an MP4. It is not ready, so let's see how that looks. So I'm going to close this off, and now you see we have a third file. So the first file is the original file, the one that we started with. So that's the one here at the bottom. Then we recorded audio on the file, but we still save it as a PowerPoint, and it went to 1.6 megs. And now we converted that to a video file, and as you can see, the size is going up because now we are dealing with video, and it's 3.2 megs. So that's a very substantial jump there. So that's to mention. So these first two, the one at the bottom, this one, these two here, are still PowerPoint presentations. So the user will need to have a version of PowerPoint to play these things. This final one that we just did, which is to create a video file, you need a video player. So my default video player is normally VLC. let me right click, open with, and I'm going to choose VLC. And now you'll see how that looks. So this is what the user will see. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jason Matthew, and today I'm going to show you how to record audio or video in PowerPoint. To start recording, so you see, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be an actual video that the student could play. They can skip to different portions of the video, and they can pause and so on. And your voice that was recorded plays automatically. As I said, some people might go this route if they want to upload their PowerPoints to, let's say, YouTube. This is a good way to do it. So far, we have recorded just our voice alone. Now we're going to be looking at how we can record actual video. So to do that, we go to the top menu, we click on slideshow, and then we click on record slideshow. So I just want to point out again that because I'm using an Apple computer, especially for slideshow, our interface will look very different from someone who is using PowerPoint on Windows. Okay, so let's look at a few things here. So you have the record button once again, but now we're getting a lot more options. First of all, I can actually record my camera that's connected to the computer. So if you have an internal camera connected to your computer, or you have an external camera like a Logitech or something, you can choose by clicking on the drop-down menu here. Well, I only have the internal one built in right now connected to the computer. So that's how you're going to see yourself. So you have to have a camera that's connected to the computer, either an internal one or an external one. Similarly, for the microphone, you can click the drop-down menu and choose whichever mic you want that is attached to this thing. Now, if, for instance, you don't want your camera feed coming up on the slide recording, you can just click on the video camera icon. And once you do that, you would turn off the capturing of your camera feed. So that is just a few things. If you wanted, for instance, to mute it, you can also mute the recording. Maybe it's just annotations. You want to use the annotation toolbar that is down here, then that's fine. You could also mute your recording. Just a point to note, when you do the actual recording, all that is being recorded is this slide here. It's not going to be recording anything at the bottom or the side or the top. Only this main slide here is being recorded, and only that is what the users will see. Now, for us now as the presenter, you will be able to see the next slide that is coming up, and you will also be able to see your notes for that slide, for the current slide. And again, the users who will be receiving this recording will not see these things. So only the presenter will see these things. And if you want, you can go to these little icons at the bottom here. You can change the size of the text. If you use the big A, you can increase the size of the text, or if you use the small a, you can decrease the size of the text. And again, for Mac users, we also can see the whole slide deck at the bottom here, and we can jump to different slides. Now, once you are happy with that, the next thing I wanted to point out is the annotation toolbar, which is very cool. Once you click on record, you're going to be recording any annotation that you do. So for instance, you have a pointer, so you can point to things on your slide. You have a pen tool, and you can choose whatever color you want. So let's say I want to go with yellow, and then I can illustrate on the slide itself. And then I have an eraser tool that I can actually erase things that I wrote, that I illustrated on the slide. And then you have a highlighter tool that you can highlight on the slide. So these are just some of the things that you can do. All right, so I think we are ready to do our recording here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera on just to see what the recording will look like. So you see that I'm back on there. And once I am ready to record, I'm going to click on the record button. So it gives you a countdown. All right, so now recording is in progress. See, there's that note there, recording is in progress. So I can say, hi, my name is Jason Matthew, and today we're going to be looking at how to record audio or video in PowerPoint. Now, the good thing about recording video is that you can go to the next slide and the recording will continue. It's a little different from like when we were recording audio only. With recording audio only, you had to go from one slide, do that recording, then stop, go to our next slide, and start a new recording. But for video, we can move from slide to slide and the recording will continue. Now, one of the things that you want to do is that once you click to go to the other slide, you want to pause for a minute to make the transition so that the recording will be recorded. Because while the slide is changing, if you continue speaking, PowerPoint is not going to capture that part of your speaking. All right. And then the cool thing is that you don't have to record every slide. Like you could jump to slide 3, click on slide 3 and record this. You don't have to record each slide. So for this one, I'm just going to go to slide 2 and I'm just going to show you that I'm going to click on the pen tool and I'm going to use blue. I like blue. And I can say, all right, so if I want to insert audio, I click on the insert button and then I go to the far right and I click audio. And then I can go to slide 3 and I say, well, to insert video, I first go to slideshow and then let's use the highlighter now. We want to go to record slideshow. And you can do lots of stuff with the annotations and stuff, and everything is being recorded by PowerPoint. Now, there is a pause button, so it means that you don't have to do your entire recording in one go. You can click on the pause button, and you see the recording is paused. So you can stop, you can check your notes, you can take a break, and then you can come back. And if you click the pause button again, you see recording is in progress. And once you are happy with the recording, then you click on the stop button here, which will stop the recording. So let's stop the recording now. And the recording is finished. So I can now end the show. And you see we have our PowerPoint with the annotation saved. Now, if you watch, I'm going to go through each slide here. You can see there's the recording on each slide. And there's now the same things that we spoke about before about when we did the voiceover, the same thing holds. So for instance, let's say, so each of these recordings, like for instance, this one, is connected to this slide. So if I want and I move the order of the slides, the recording for that slide moves with the slide. So it's not like they're going to get mixed up or anything like that. If I delete a slide, then the recording that was on that slide is also deleted. And I can add additional slides and add new recordings to those. All right. And just like with when we had just done audio only, if you click on your video recording, then you will get the playback and video format options. So let's look at the playback option. You have where you can trim the video. So as you can see, I can move the ends of these things here to trim the video that I have just done. Now the only thing is that PowerPoint is not a full screen capture software, meaning that it can't edit, like doesn't have that full editing potential. All it can do is edit the ends of the video or the audio as before. So only the ends can be edited. If there's something in the middle there, then that wouldn't be able to edit using PowerPoint. All right. So let's save this and see how it looks. So first I'm going to save it as a normal PowerPoint. So I click Save As. And this time I'm going to call it, let's call it a video recording. Oops, spell that wrong. All right, and let's save it. All right, so let's see what the users will see when we give them the PowerPoint presentation. So that's the one. So let's look at file size now. Now, this one at the bottom here is the original one, and that's at 1.5 megabytes. And then we added voice, and it went up to 1.6 megabytes. And then we save it as a video, and that was 3.2 megabytes. Now we have done a video recording. So we have captured the camera and stuff, and you can see that has jumped to 31.7 megabytes. You see that there's a significant increase in file size. And that's something you want to be cognizant of in terms of who your target audience is and what resources they might have in terms of accessing this kind of video. Although it's a video recording, remember, it's still a PowerPoint presentation, meaning that your users will need to have PowerPoint to open it up. So I'm going to click on it. And this is what the users will see. Now, if they don't go into slideshow view and they just have the slides here, what they will have to do is go to the bottom here, click on where the video is, and then click play. All right, so now recording is in progress. See, there's that note there, recording is in progress. So that's if you save it like this. Now, if they go into slide view, let's go into slideshow and see how it is. All right, so now recording is in progress. See, there's that note there, recording is in progress. So you see that it automatically plays once they go in slideshow. And I'm just going to show you, I'm going to type 3 and so as they click through the slides, it automatically plays for them. So that's one way in which you can do it. Now, once they have these slides like this, you're going to see all the annotations that have been done. So if they want to see the annotations take place in real time, they will have to go into slideshow and see it happen in real time. So again, so in this way, we have still saved it as a PowerPoint. So you're still looking at the animations through PowerPoint. Now, the other way in which we can do this is that we can export this PowerPoint as a video. And then you could use that video to upload via YouTube or whatever video streaming service that you use. So we go to File, we go to Export, and then the file format, you want to choose MP4, which is a video file format. Again, this will be the default dimensions, 1920 by 1080. That's when you buy a TV and you see 1080p, high definition, that's what these dimensions is really saying. So that's a pretty good standard there for a video. You click on Export, and you see the progress bar saying that it's exporting the PowerPoint as a video file, as an MP4 file. Again, depending on the complexity of your PowerPoint presentation, how many graphics you have, how long it is, and so on, this export will take longer. All right, so let's close this one off. And now we see the MP4 versions. This one that we just had open was PowerPoint. So students had to use PowerPoint to open it. This one now, this MP4 is a video file. The entire thing is a video file. So you'll have to use a video player to view it. So you're not using PowerPoint to open an MP4. You're using a video player like QuickTime. I normally use VLC. So you could recommend to your users to use VLC simply because, well, first of all, it's free. It works on all operating systems. And it's a very small file size that takes up little space on your computer. So I would strongly recommend that once you are viewing video files on your computer, you should use software like VLC. So let me right click on it, open with, choose VLC, and let's see what it looks like. Recording is in progress. See, there's that note there, recording is in progress. So I can say, hi, my name is Jason Matthew, and today we're going to be looking. So you see, it's playing on its own, and it's a great way if you want to, like, say, post your PowerPoints on YouTube and have the users just look at a video version of your PowerPoint deck. So that's a great way to do that. So in this video, we looked at how to record audio and video in PowerPoint. Now, this does a really good job. PowerPoint does a really good job. And if you already have PowerPoint, then it's great because you don't have to pay anything extra to do this additional stuff. And it makes your PowerPoint presentation more interactive and engaging. But I just wanted to also tell you that if you wanted to record your slides and have more control in terms of the type of annotations you can do and in terms of the video editing, then you would want to look at software such as Camtasia or ScreenFlow, where you have a lot more power doing that. And these are dedicated screen capturing software. Also, if you want to edit your audio even more, then you would want to look at probably a dedicated audio editing piece of software. For instance, Audacity, it's a free open source software that's great. So you could also look at that as well. Now, the final thing I want to show you all is ways in which you can share your saved PowerPoints with your students. All right, so in this example, we have a few kinds of different files. We have PowerPoints and we have MP4s. Now, for the file formats that end with PPTX, those are still PowerPoint files. It means that your users must have PowerPoint on their system to open these files. The ones that end with the file type .mp4, those are video files. And your users can use a video player to play those files if you are sharing them directly with the user. Another way in which you can do it is, as I said, upload it to a video streaming service such as YouTube or Vimeo. And then the student can just log in there, click on the link, go to the YouTube channel, go to the Vimeo channel, and just look at the video there. So there are different ways in which we can share this thing. Now, in terms of if you want to share the files directly, then I would recommend that you use something such as Google Drive. And if you are a teacher listening to this video, then for most teachers, you all will already have access to the Google Suite for Education. And the Google Suite for Education comes with a Google Drive that has unlimited capacity. So that's a great way in which you can share your files through that. So I'm going to show you quickly how you do that. So I'm going to open up my my Gmail. Now I should tell you, I specifically spoke about educators who have access to the G Suite for Education because they would have a Google Drive that will have unlimited storage. But I should also tell you that any person with a Google account will have access to a Google Drive. Just they wouldn't probably have that sharing capacity, that storage space. But we all, if once we have a Gmail account, we all have a Google Drive. So just open up your Gmail, then go to the grid of dots here, and that will give you all the Google applications that you have access to. So you could choose Google Drive, and then you could probably click on New, create a folder, and I'm just going to quickly put voice over PowerPoint. All right, and I will create that folder. And now I'm just going to open that folder. And I had a folder on my computer with all the different formats. So then you need to decide, well, which one did you do? So I will go with, just for this example here, I will go with this one that was a voiceover that we saved as an MP4. And I just drag it into the folder on my Google Drive. So you can see it says that it has finished uploaded the file. So it has uploaded the file from my computer onto my Google Drive. And now what I want to do is I'm going to right click on that file that is now in my Google Drive. I click on share. And then I can choose who I want to share it with, how I want to share it with. So I can click, so right now it's just restricted to people who are on my WeCanEduTech domain. But I could click on that to change that option. So let's see, restricted. So I'm going to choose anyone with the link. Now this is a great option, especially if you are sharing this file with people outside of your organization. Let's say it's a PowerPoint that you want people outside of your organization to see, then you should choose anyone with a link. Now, once I have that link, I could just click copy link. I click done. And I could just, let me open up a Word document here. All right, so I have a Word document open. I'll just right click, click paste, and that's the link there. So you can share this link either on your social media, via email, or on your learning management system. And once someone clicks on this link, it will go to this file here. And if they click on the play button, it should play. Let me double click on it. And if I click, right, it's opening up now. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jason Matthew, and today I'm going to show you. So there you go. So this is one way in which you can share it. You can use Google Drive, or you can use any other cloud storage that you are familiar with, such as Dropbox and so on. And as I said, you could also put up, if it's an MP4 file that you have saved, you can upload that to a video streaming service such as YouTube or Vimeo. Okay, guys, so I hope you learned a lot today. Please like, subscribe, and support the channel. And keep looking at our videos where we make learning with technology simple and fun. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Bye-bye.